Create your dream with Success Television. Can people truly change, reinvent themselves into more balanced, more caring, more productive individuals? Stephen Covey, for one, says yes. And a lot of people pay a lot of money for his brand of reinvention. In fact, leaders of corporations, all kinds of organizations, pay $500 million a year for his brand of reinvention. Covey himself is a former Brigham and Young University business professor who has turned himself into a self-help mogul. And his first lesson for leaders is that they are the product of their own choices. Okay, let's start then with the 7 principles. And the first one, obviously, is to be proactive. And what fascinates me is that it jives with this notion that you're not a captive of your past.
Right.
Describe that for us.
Well, most people tend to become deterministic, that they are a captive of their past, or of their present circumstances, or of the social weather that surrounds them, or their physical weather.
For their family.
Their family, their upbringing, what my parents did to me, and so forth. The question I often ask is, are you a product of nature or nurture? And almost everyone says it's nurture or a combination. And I try to make a point that it's neither. It's a product of choice, because you can choose your response to both nature and nurture. You could have, for instance, a genetic disease inside you and never get it, simply because you make the lifestyle choices of the proper food and exercise and medicine. Or you could have been abused as a child. You don't have to abuse your own child. You have the power to reinvent yourself. That's not so with animals. So the space between stimulus and response is the freedom to choose your response.
Let's stop for a second and focus on the space between the stimulus, if you will, or whatever happens to you in your life, and then your response. What, is that a minute second in most instances? Is it something we can expand?
Absolutely, we can expand it. But with some people that have been, say, powerfully deprived or rejected, or maybe this very little space, see, with others that have had very affirming, unconditional love growing up and so forth, they could have a very large space. The point is, however small or large the space is, it can get larger if you will take responsibility and initiative and focus on it and use it little by little. It gets larger and larger until eventually your response changes the very stimulus of your life. That's why I say that leaders are not born or made, they are self-made.